Hello, everybody. It's Dr. Lisa with American Education International, and we are going to begin the study session for the USA Civics Bee coming up. Those of you who are competing, you can jump right in and study with us, or if you're not and you just want to learn for something in the future, this is a huge part of American history and U.S. government classes with American Education International. We're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to introduce each section as we go. I'm going to give you the question, and then I'm going to give you the answer. Some of them have multiple answers, and you'll see that when we get to it. So let's get started. First part, American government. What is the supreme law of the land? The answer is the Constitution. What does the Constitution do? It sets up the government, defines the government, or protects basic rights of Americans. These are all acceptable answers. The idea of self-government is in the first three words of the Constitution. What are these words? We, the people. What is an amendment? A change to the Constitution and an addition to the Constitution. What do we call the first 10 amendments to the Constitution? The Bill of Rights. What is one right or freedom from the First Amendment? Speech, religion, assembly, press, and petition the government. How many amendments does the Constitution have? 27. What did the Declaration of Independence do? Announce our independence from Great Britain, or declare our independence from Great Britain, or said that the United States is free from Great Britain. And as you know, that territory is also known as England. What are three rights in the Declaration of Independence? Life, liberty, pursuit of happiness. What is religious freedom? You can practice any religion or not practice a religion. What is the economic system in the United States? Capitalist economy, market economy, both things, same thing. What is the rule of law? Everyone must follow the law. Leaders must obey the law. Government must obey the law. No one is above the law. Part 2, system of government. Name one branch or part of the government. All of these answers are correct. Congress, legislative, which Congress is part of the legislation, president, executive, the courts, judicial. So the branches are legislative, judicial, and executive. A part of the government is the Congress, the courts, okay, and the president. What stops one branch of government from becoming too powerful? Checks and balances or separation of powers, both things. Who is in charge of the executive branch? The president. Who makes federal laws? Congress, Senate and House of Representatives, U.S. or national legislature. Who are the two parts of the U.S. Congress? The Senate and the House of Representatives. How many U.S. senators are there? 100. 2 for every state. We elect a U.S. senator for how many years? 6. The House of Representatives has how many voting members? 435. Each of the representatives represent a different region of their state, and some states have more than others based on the population. We elect a U.S. representative for how many years? 2. And the representatives are the ones that manage the budget. What does a U.S. senator represent? All people of the state that they're from. Why do some states have more representatives than other states? Because of the state's population, because they have more people, or because some states have more people. Those are all acceptable answers. We elect a president for how many years? 4. In what month do we vote for president? November. If the president can no longer serve, who becomes president? The vice president. If both the president and the vice president can no longer serve, who becomes president? The Speaker of the House. Who is the commander-in-chief of the military? The president. Who signs bills to become laws? The president. Who vetoes bills? Also the president. What does the president's cabinet do? Advise the president. What are 2 cabinet level positions? These are all of the cabinet level positions. You could name any 2 of these, but it's good to become familiar with them. Secretary of Agriculture, Commerce, Defense, Education, Energy, Health and Human Services, Homeland Security, Security of Housing and Urban Development, Interior, Labor, Secretary of State, Transportation, Treasury, Veterans Affairs, Attorney General, and then the Vice President. You can name any two cabinet level positions. And again, they are advisors to the president. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, counting the Attorney General and the Vice President. What does the judicial branch do? Reviews laws, explains laws, resolves disputes, decides if a law goes against the Constitution. What is the highest court in the United States? We have the local courts, we have the state courts, and then we have the highest, we have the federal courts, but what's the highest court? That is the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court. How many justices are there on the Supreme Court? 9. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the federal government. What is one power of the federal government? To print money, to declare war, to create an army, to make treaties. All of these powers, you could name any of them. Under our Constitution, some powers belong to the states. What is one power of the states? And you know the US has 50 states, so each state has their own government. What's one power of the states? Provide schooling and education, provide protection, which would be the police force, provide safety, an example would be fire departments, give a driver's license, and approve zoning and land use. Who is the governor of your state now? So we're talking to students who are in Florida or who are international students who are attending Florida universities this year. Okay, so this is our governor. Do you know his name? It's Ron DeSantis. And we think he's the best one in the whole nation. What is the capital of your state, which is going to be Florida? Tallahassee. What are the two major political parties in the United States? Democrat and Republican. Okay, American history. This is thy favorite one. What is one reason colonists came to America? Several reasons. Freedom, political liberty, religious freedom, economic opportunity, practice their religion, or escape persecution. Any of these things are correct answers because different people had different reasons, but these are the common reasons. Who lived in America before Europeans arrived? American Indians or also Native Americans. It could be called the same thing as far as this bee goes. What group of people was taken to America and sold as slaves? The Africans or people from Africa. Why did the colonists fight the British? Because of high taxes or taxation without representation, because the British Army stayed in their houses, hoarding, quartering, because they didn't have self-government. All of those things are correct. Who wrote the Declaration of Independence? The main writer. There were different contributors, but there was one main writer, and that was Thomas Jefferson, who was also the third president of the United States and one of our founding fathers, of course. When was the Declaration of Independence adopted? July 4th, 1776. There were 13 original states, or colonies, we call them. Name three. Here's a bunch of them. New Hampshire, Massachusetts, Rhode Island, Connecticut, New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, and Georgia. What happened at the Constitutional Convention? The Constitution was written. So the founding fathers wrote the Constitution. When was the Constitution written? 1787. The Federalist Papers supported the passage of the U.S. Constitution. Name one of those writers. James Madison, Alexander Hamilton, John Jay, and Publius. What is one thing Benjamin Franklin is famous for? He was a U.S. diplomat, oldest member of the Constitutional Convention, first Postmaster General of the United States, the writer of Poor Richard's Almanac, and he started the first free libraries. There's a lot more things that we know about him, and he was one of the writers of the Constitution as well. Who is the father of our country? George Washington. Who was the first president? Same answer, George Washington. Okay, now we're moving into the 1800s. What territory did the United States buy from France in 1803? The Louisiana Territory, or you can say just Louisiana. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1800s. The War of 1812, or the Mexican-American War, the Civil War, or the Spanish-American War. Name the U.S. war between the North and the South, one of those wars. The Civil War, or the war between the states. Name one problem that led to the Civil War. Slavery, economic reasons, and then states' rights. Any of those. What was one important thing that Abraham Lincoln did? The 16th president of the United States. He freed the slaves. Emancipation Proclamation is what that's called. Saved or preserved the Union and led the United States during the Civil War. Many more things, but those are the main things that we need to know. What did the Emancipation Proclamation do again? Freed the slaves, freed the slaves in the Confederacy or the Confederate States, that can also be called Confederate States, and in most Southern states freed the slaves. What did Susan B. Anthony do? Fought for women's rights and fought for civil rights. All right, recent American history and other important historical information. New section. Name one war fought by the United States in the 1900s. World War I, World War II, Korean War, Vietnam War, the Gulf War, the Persian War. (1900s). Who was president during World War I? Woodrow Wilson. Who was president during the Great Depression and World War II? Franklin Roosevelt. Who did the United States fight in World War II? Japan, Germany, and Italy. Before he was president, Eisenhower was a general. What war was he in? World War II. During the Cold War, what was the main concern of the United States? Communism. What movement tried to end racial discrimination? The Civil Rights Movement. What did Martin Luther King Jr. do? Fought for civil rights or work for equality for all Americans. Many more things, but those are the main two for the purpose of this. What major event happened on September 11th, 2001 in the United States? Terrorists attacked the United States. Name one American Indian tribe in the United States. Several of them, lots of them. Cherokee, Navajo, Sioux, just remember that. Just look at all of that big list. You just have to remember one. It's good just to become familiar with all of them. You'll be able to visit a lot of the places and see a lot of the names in Florida that are named after these tribes, because we still have areas where they were originally and still are. Integrated civics. Geography. Name one of the two longest rivers in the United States. Missouri and Mississippi. Two longest rivers. It's good to know both of them. Both of them start with an M. Mississippi. We had to learn that when we were kids, how to spell Mississippi. And we've got Missouri. What ocean is on the west coast of the United States? The Pacific Ocean. What ocean is on the east coast of the United States? The Atlantic Ocean. Name one U.S. territory. Not a state, but a territory. Puerto Rico, U.S. Virgin Islands, American Samoa, Northern Mariana Islands, and Guam. Name one state that borders Canada. Look at all the states that border Canada. Ohio. I didn't realize Ohio borders Canada. We better check that one. Maine, New Hampshire, Vermont, New York, Pennsylvania, Michigan, Minnesota, North Dakota, Montana, Idaho, Washington, Alaska. I don't think Ohio is correct, guys. Don't know. I'll double check that. Name one state that borders Mexico. California, Arizona, New Mexico, Texas. What is the capital of the United States? Washington, D.C. All right, symbols. These are going to be easy ones for everybody. Where is the Statue of Liberty? New York, Harbor or Liberty Island, New York City, near New York City, and on the Hudson River. Why does the flag have 13 stripes? Because there were 13 original colonies, because the stripes represent the original colonies, both of those things. What is the name of the national anthem? Star Spangled Banner. The Star Spangled Banner. Why does the flag have 50 stars? Because there's one star for each, one star for each state. Each of the 50 states. Holidays, next part. Why do we celebrate Independence Day? Or when, I'm sorry, July 4th. When? Name two national U.S. holidays. All of these are U.S. holidays. New Year's Day, Martin Luther King Jr. Day, President's Day, Memorial Day, Independence Day, Labor Day, Columbus Day, Veterans Day, Thanksgiving, and Christmas. These are all in order from January all the way down to December. Okay. So that is our practice quiz. I just wish everybody good study time. If you study, you're going to do great. And I look forward to seeing the outcome. Talk to you soon.